When you feel like taking a hike, bird watching, camping, or fishing, where do you think about going? How about when you're thinking of some place to spend time with your family? Or when you'd just like to get away from your routine and get a little closer to nature? The Champaign County Forest Preserve District has more than 3,500 acres of natural spaces. Woodlands, lakes, forests, wetlands, as well as the Early American Museum, the Mabry-Gelvin Botanical Garden, Lake of the Woods Golf Course, and the Middle Fork Campground that provide a wealth of opportunities for conservation, education, and recreation for all. The district opened its first forest preserve on Memorial Day weekend in 1948. Named Lake of the Woods County Park, the preserve offered 260 acres of land, including a lake for swimming, boating, and fishing. The development of the Champaign County Preserves was driven by the district's first president, H.I. Gelvin, who was known by the nickname Hi. During Hi Gelvin's tenure, from 1948 until his retirement in 1975, tremendous growth was seen in the district. Construction of the golf course at Lake of the Woods in Mahomet began in 1950. The first 9 holes were opened to the public the following year, and the complete 18-hole golf course opened in 1954. Additionally, a 9-hole par 3 course was built on property once used as the landing strip for Mr. Gelvin's airplane. In 1952, the extremely popular Sea Slide opened in Lake of the Woods. A predecessor to the modern-day water park, the Sea Slide attracted people from miles around during its 30-year run. The 40-foot structure resembled a roller coaster that had toboggan-like sleds. Riders sped down the slide, and the ride ended with a huge splash when the sled hit the water. Several landmark events occurred at Lake of the Woods in the 1960s. The covered bridge was constructed in 1965. The High Tower Bell Carillon was dedicated in 1966, and the Early American Museum opened its doors in 1968. Focus also began to turn to other areas of the county during these years. In 1967, after the announcement by Congressman William Springer of Champaign that the U.S. Bureau of Outdoor Recreation released $78,000 for construction of Homer Lake, the Illinois Department of Conservation developed the area into a state park. In the early 1970s, the state decided to turn its smaller parks over to local units of government. After lengthy negotiations, the Forest Preserve District was given a 20-year renewable lease for Homer Lake in 1971. While news of growth kept spirits high, disaster struck in 1974 when a tornado destroyed every building at Homer Lake. The next 2 years focused on rebuilding efforts with the construction of many of the buildings in use today, including the Environmental Education Center. Also in the 1970s, the district began purchasing land in the northeast section of the county for what would eventually become the Middle Fork River Forest Preserve. Again, just in time for the Memorial Day weekend, Middle Fork officially opened as the 3rd Champaign County Forest Preserve. It was a momentous occasion at the Middle Fork in March of 1992, as the completion of the waterfowl management area was celebrated, thanks to a major cooperative effort with Ducks Unlimited. Funded by the Illinois Duck Stamp Program, this area consisted of 2 large wetland areas totaling 130 acres of optimum nesting and migratory waterfowl habitat. The 2 areas have attracted many new breeding or potential breeding bird species to Champaign County. Also in 1992, after diligent work on the part of commissioners, then-Governor Jim Edgar signed into law the bill that officially transferred ownership of the 828-acre Homer Lake Forest Preserve to the Forest Preserve District. After the property had been leased for more than 20 years, it was now owned by the citizens of Champaign County. A significant grant project was completed in the 1990s with the construction of a 3.3-mile bicycle pedestrian path that crossed Lake of the Woods Forest Preserve. Officially dedicated in 1997, it has been used extensively from the start. Some people were using it literally as soon as the asphalt hardened. This is but a slice of the rich history of the Champaign County Forest Preserve District, with mention of just a few of the people who helped shape this story. It would, of course, be impossible to name everyone who was involved, but all have left their mark, and the continued success of the Forest Preserve District today is evidence of the people behind the preserves.